it takes a while to actually go live.
Upload. Gotcha.
Yeah, because Zoom has to talk to YouTube, which it's doing right now. It's giving me a progress bar. Okay. All right, we're back. It actually went live when I
Oh,
was
I see
still
it.
doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, we're
Yeah.
okay. You see it? All right.
Yeah. Yeah. I do.
Everybody hang on because I gotta see it myself so I can see what you guys are commenting. But I'm here. This is Poor Man's Commish, your Warriors credentialed insider once again. And I'm back and we're gonna do this update, roster update, because the Warriors just picked up Brad Wanamaker. And so we'll talk
Yeah.
about that. And my guest today is Gene McIntyre. He's an NBA trainer based out of Houston. And we'll talk about Houston later. We got to talk about that
Yeah.
just later, just as a little anecdote. But we will dive right into Brad Wanamaker. So Gene, uh, say hello and tell them why you're a Warriors.
Actually, how you doing, guys? It actually started with me when Mark Jackson made this statement about the best shooting backcourt in history. So I had to find out for myself, and I'm a guy that likes to use his eyes, so I got to see for myself.
Right.
So I guess around 2012, 2013, just
Yeah.
starting to watch Clay and Steph and the way they shoot the basketball, it really kind of attracted me to them. And then as they started to get better and better, I started to see the progression. So that's where we're at right now in 2020. So about 8 years, I would say, 7, 8 years.
And did you get a chance to see them up close?
I have. I've been to a few games actually. The way they move, especially Clay, uh, it's incredible. Honestly, just his skill set, his footwork, Steph's footwork is you've never seen anyone shoot the basketball like that. And I've been in several workouts with people, NBA level guys,
Yeah.
and they're not even close to where to
You're
where
up.
they to where those guys shoot the basketball.
Do you see James Harden or any of the Rockets up close on the
Yes.
regular at all? Okay.
Not in the
So there you
regular.
go.
It's been a while, but I saw him.
Okay.
When I was there every day. It was 2018, 2019. So
There you go.
I witnessed it. I witnessed it.
Yeah.
It's not the same. It's not. I mean, James
We'll
Harden
we'll
can shoot, but not like that.
yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. I mean,
Yeah.
after we do the Wanamaker update, but
Yeah.
what I want to say before we get into that with the whole Clay thing, that was something very interesting today. Somebody on our Discord server, again, if you're a good social media citizen, actually, if you're tired of how negative Twitter is, like I was, that's why I
Yeah.
created our Let's Go Warriors Discord server. So if you're not a hater on YouTube, and trust me, I'll figure that out pretty quick.
Right.
Come and join us on Discord. You guys just got to find me on whatever way you can. That's part of your homework if you really want to be on the Discord. But when we were talking today on the Discord server, just great conversations going on. One guy was like, I can't believe Charlotte signed Gordon Hayward. He got so much money again, and
Yeah.
it happened just after I had mentioned how difficult it is to replace Clay through free agency or whatever right now
Right.
because it's very simple. Bottom line, there aren't many threes that can shoot, and there aren't many twos that can do what he does. That's 6'7".
Yeah.
Okay,
Not at
there
that
aren't.
level.
Look at
It's tough.
look at all these twos. They're all
Yeah.
like 6'3", 6'4". They're CJ
Right.
McCollum. They're not 6'7",
They're
right?
not six
So
seven.
so I kind of wanted to say a little something about Clay and how you felt when
Yeah.
you found out.
I was actually devastated because I've actually made this statement to a bunch of people, and they always laugh at me. I think Clay is top five in the NBA, and they say,
Yeah,
"Why do you say that? He doesn't do this." I said, "That's not true. You have to watch. He can put the ball on the floor, and he doesn't have to put the ball on the floor, and he's still gonna get you 30. And then he goes on the
right.
other end and he guards the best player, right? So
Yeah,
he's an elite shooter. He guards the other end, and then in the playoffs, there's this anomaly that comes out of him in Game 6 when they need him the most. You
yep,
know he's gonna be there.
yeah, yeah. We
So
talked
I
about
don't
that.
see. Yeah,
We had Travis Walton on here. Do you know Travis
right.
personally?
Yeah, not personally, but I
Nice.
know. I know
Okay.
him.
I mean, all you trainers eventually will overlap
Oh, for
at
sure,
some
for
point.
sure.
And
Yeah.
Travis, when he was on our YouTube live during the draft, he was like, Draymond has that thing, like he gets
Yeah,
locked in, and I feel like that's exactly what Clay has in
that's
Game
what
Six.
Clay has. It's crazy.
And the other thing about Clay, I just wanted to say before we talk about Wanamaker is
Yeah,
Bob Myers during the press conference outside of Chase. I think it was yesterday actually.
right.
He was like, "It's not like Clay, natural born talent and all this. He worked at it." Like Bob Myers was
Absolutely.
like, "Man, you know what Clay's been through. You know all those. You guys used to joke. You guys used to call it Clay ups and all that. He had to go through all that. So
Yeah,
it was hard work, and that's what you do. That's your daily job. It's the
exactly.
grind.
Yeah, and I've actually heard,
All
like I
right.
heard,
So
real quick, getting back to that, my top five thing. I've actually heard
yeah.
a lot of analysts say top 12, so I'm not far off.
Oh
You
no,
know what I
and
mean?
whenever somebody says something like that, lays down the
Yeah,
gauntlet, I just go, have you guys seen the JJ Redick, Rex Chapman video cast that they did, the podcast?
right. Hmm.
They were drafting shooting guards because JJ Redick's a shooting guard, and it was
Right.
fun to do on their podcast. Rex Chapman, his oh man, now I can't remember, first or second pick. I think it was the second pick all time. This is three guys, so you're doing a snake draft.
Yeah.
So it's definitely top 10 all time, probably top five all time if you're doing when you're drafting. And he said Clay.
Oh,
And
no doubt.
JJ's like, you know what? I can't fault you for that.
So you cannot.
It was just, I think we have that clip on our Instagram somewhere down the page because
Right.
that was just, when I heard that, I was like, yeah, that was like the best stamp of approval you could ever get from
No
JJ
doubt.
Redick and Rex Chapman. I mean, God.
Yeah.
All right. So finally, you see how these Zooms kind of go longer,
Yeah,
because
they
we
do.
talk basketball all
Yeah,
the
they
time.
do. Yeah.
And I'll get to your comments, guys, in a
Yeah.
minute, towards the end. But always want these to be like 10 minutes, but they end up being
Yeah.
15, 20. So it is
So
what
it's
it is. But
basketball.
Brad,
It is what it is.
today, the Warriors, it's just a few hours ago, they signed Brad Wanamaker, and that is the backup PG to Steph now, obviously, from the Celtics. You saw him in the bubble. 6'3", has a 6'8" wingspan, which is,
Yeah.
I kind of, somebody on our Discord again, great stuff on there. Somebody from China actually typed in, and literally, I think it takes him a while to type in his messages because he's got
Right.
English is a second language for him, but he's based
Yeah.
out of China, and he's like, you know what? He's like Draymond in a guard's body, 6'3", 6'8" wingspan, and I was thinking, man,
I
because
can see
Wanamaker
that.
does play really good defense.
Yeah.
That's a pretty
Yeah.
good comp. I love those comps.
Yeah.
You as an
Yeah.
NBA trainer, I know you always have those comps in your
Oh,
head
for
when you
sure. For
train
sure.
guys
I'm
and
always
stuff.
trying to
So
compare. Yeah, absolutely. I can see that one.
yeah,
The thing that for me, like I told somebody on Discord, you can't really count
yeah.
the bubble shooting percentage because of the shooting background. I
Okay,
don't think people understand how
okay.
big that is. It
See,
changes.
that's what I the very reason why I wanted you on tonight
Right.
was because we were finding all these numbers about Brad Wanamaker. Led the league in free throw percentage. Has 37.6 3-point shooting, which is not
Career.
all that
Yeah.
great. However,
Right.
Anthony Slater of The Athletic tweeted out that, oh well, hey, that's just in limited opportunities of the three. So actually, that percentage is okay, and we're looking at catch and shoot percentage, which is surprisingly high. We're looking at,
Yeah.
oh, what about Steph's gravity? That's going to
Yeah.
go higher. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. We don't know because there's no
Yeah.
Clay.
We don't know.
Because
Yeah. Exactly.
Steph's gravity was also Splash Brothers gravity
Yes.
too. So it's I don't know. I don't want to go there just yet. But you brought up some points, and you were like, well, we'll see. So what
Yeah.
else?
We'll see.
What else do you feel, just NBA trainer wise, feel about Wanamaker that we
Um.
need to be careful of?
Just the most important thing is comparing the bubble,
Yeah.
the I like to call it the hangar basketball gym versus the arena. It's just a different depth perception when you're shooting a basketball. Um, just like if you're working out in the open gym versus going, it's just different. And then with the
Yeah.
fan aspect, makes it a little different. I think at some point there will be fans. And I know Joe Lacob is trying to do the $30 million testing. So I think eventually
Yeah.
that's going to happen.
It
But
got
just,
rejected. It
yeah,
got
of course.
rejected
For
by
now,
San
for now.
Francisco, but this is just the first
Yeah,
round. That's the first
yeah.
try. He'll try again.
So I
But
just
go
think
ahead.
it's going to change. I just think it's going to change once you get into that setting. He's got to learn the system. Uh, I mean, can he run the
Yeah.
system? Because he did it in
That
Boston, so
takes a
he
while.
may be okay. It takes a while though. So I just think we need to pump the brakes a little bit. 37% is like a below, I would say mid average shooter in the NBA. He can shoot free throws, which is true, but I mean, you're trying to replace somebody who's a career. We're talking about Clay, but 43% for his career. So I think we need to pump the brakes a little bit.
Somebody in the comments is asking, okay, how did they get Wanamaker? They got it using the mid-level exception,
Yeah.
partial. They can use
Partial. Yeah.
They can use up to 5.7 million, and so they use 2.5 of that, so they got 3.2 left to use on somebody else. We'll get into that, who they can get and all that, but Wanamaker is using part of the MLE. It's not the disabled player exception because, according to Shams, he broke the news that the Warriors, they put an application in, and this guy on Reddit, the guy who runs the Warriors Reddit on Twitter, he's like, I mean, I say this in a good way. He's like a salary cap nerd.
Right.
So he went and researched all this stuff, and he found like examples and he found out that like it takes 9 to 12 days in a regular. Now we're talking different time, pandemic times right now,
of course.
but 9 to 12 days to approve. And you know what I think it is? I think is they need to look at all the medical records, make sure this isn't some sham, no pun intended there, but make sure that, okay, yeah, he's indeed out for the season. This is a clean break. They need to send all of that information to their doctors. So it just takes time. So 9 to 12 days. I mean, you could look at it as, oh man, if Clay had torn his Achilles maybe a week before he actually did. Yeah. But I don't want to live in that. I don't want that what if. Exactly. I don't want to play with the what if. It's too much. Right. Anytime someone brings up what if, I kind of go, well, what if Naismith didn't have a peach basket that day?
Right.
You want to keep going? Right. So let's not do that what if, because I got you on that one. You can't beat that one. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to let you talk about really whatever you want, but in terms of the roster. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch out and show you guys the roster currently, because what's going to happen is the Warriors now have a full squad. They can use somebody on a veterans minimum. They can use somebody on that mid-level exception that still has 3 million, 3.7 million, whatever. They 3.2 million. They can trade, make a trade and bring in one guy and ship out two guys. But right now, Clay takes up one of those 15 roster spots until the disabled player exception. If you can use that, then you can replace Clay, who's still one of 15, but there's 14 other guys. If they add a guy, they're gonna have to waive a guy or trade in out. So I'm gonna pull that up, and you're gonna go ahead and tell us what you think about the roster. Go down the roster. What you think of some of these guys? Like maybe start with Oubre. What do you know about Oubre? Like
I've actually seen him. I've actually seen Oubre in the gym working out with the trainer he works out with. What's this guy's name? You know who I'm talking about. Drew Halen.
Can you guys see this? Can you see that, or is that bad?
I can see the roster a little bit.
Is it straight?
Or yes, is it is. Wow. You're sideways, but the roster's straight.
I'm still on there? How am I on there? Okay.
You're on the side.
Fine. I'll sacrifice myself, but You see Steph, Oubre. Okay, what do you think of
Yeah.
who is the real two, Oubre or Wiggins? Like, because I'm thinking here, someone's got to
That's the
run.
key.
Someone's got to run Clay's route,
That's
uh,
the key.
or or Kerr has to switch it up, has to tweak. So what would you do?
I
Have
was
somebody?
thinking,
Yeah, what would you do?
I was thinking maybe one of those guys has to be the Andre Iguodala. I don't know
Hmm.
who. That's gonna have to
So
be determined in the camp training camp.
Oubre comes off the bench, is what you're saying, probably.
I would either that or Wiggins. I don't know if you could play them together because they're kind of almost similar. Um,
Okay. Hold on.
but
People on their Discord was like, "Oh wait, you can't have Oubre come off the bench because you're paying him 80
why
million.
not?
He's going to want to start,
Well,
right? Tell people why not.
well,
I
because
I think
Andre
I think he
Iguodala was
can.
going. Yeah,
There you go.
absolutely. But
So,
that's the
but what
thing.
if?
You don't know if he has the same mentality. That's the thing. We don't
Right.
know that.
Okay. Well, then it's still 50-50, I
Yeah.
guess. So everybody, you look. I mean, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys. Don't worry about that. I just want to get through. I number them just so that we can see beyond
Right.
5. Um, Tell me about Chris versus Wiseman because my feeling is it's Chris's job to lose. In other words, her
Correct.
as a coach, he's going to let
Yeah.
Chris play. Maybe Chris gets injured. Wiseman comes in, plays awesome. Just kind of like David Lee and Draymond, right?
Possible.
So
To me,
what
Chris was
what do you
more
think?
of a. I think Chris is more of like a 4.
Hmm?
To me. And
Wait,
you
but
know how Steve
who
Kerr
do you
likes
think
to have
starts?
3 centers. I think
Who do you
Wiseman
think
starts. I think Wiseman
on
starts.
opening night?
Oh, on opening night.
Because
Absolutely.
because he plays the 5 better during training camp.
Exactly.
Wow.
He's a little
Okay.
bit more skilled than Chris is at this juncture.
See, technically, unless he blows people away in training camp, which Wiseman could very well do, I
Right.
probably disagree. Because just thinking, it's like a David Lee, Draymond type situation
Yeah,
where,
I got you.
okay, it's kind of your spot to lose. All right, so I'm gonna switch out. I'm gonna stop sharing and share again, and I'm gonna show you the rest of the roster. Okay, so this is straight from our Discord, so you can kind of see the discussion down there, people. You see those. Oh, by the way, Damian, Lee, and Marquise are also partially guaranteed contracts. So
Oh yeah.
they could theoretically be waived, but we actually talked about that yesterday with Gabe
Yeah.
on the show. They're not going to waive Damian. I mean, they could trade him out, but they're not going to waive Damian. That's Steph Curry's guy, and he's
Exactly.
guaranteed 600K. So like, you're not going to want that much dead money. And because if you waive a guy, you still got to pay the guy, and it counts against your
Absolutely.
bucks.
Yes, sir.
Um, Same thing with Marquise. There's only so many big guys on the team, and so if they bring in another guy and it's not a trade, guess who's going to get cut? Either Juan Toscano or Mike
Michael
Mulder.
Murder. Yeah, I like Mike Murder, to be honest with you.
And Mike Mulder, try and get myself back. Okay.
He passes the eye test for me in terms of
Also,
shooting evaluation.
Mike Mulder is a
Yeah.
two guard, and they
Yeah.
need shooters. And
Yep.
it's not like Juan's a terrible player. In fact, he's a 3-and-D long type guy that like every roster needs. It's just bad timing, bad luck with Clay, in my
Maybe
opinion.
he can get can he get the 2-way, or is that he's already done that? He can't go back.
Here's the thing: Juan, his G League rights are owned by the
Right.
Lakers.
Oh.
So if he goes back to G League, then
Yeah.
I don't even know how that would work. We just had the discussion on Discord. Nobody knows. It's like, what? Let's say tomorrow they sign. I don't know. Let me just throw Marc Gasol. Okay, I don't even
Right.
know if I want a center. That's the first name that came up.
Yeah.
Um, they signed Marc Gasol as a free agent to like the rest of the MLE, 3.2 million, which
Mhm.
that might be the same as him as a veteran, probably
That's
more.
true. A little more.
But then they got if they waive Juan, I mean, like how can you put him on, even if the Warriors had his rights, how can you put him on G League if you just waived him? I don't know how
Right.
that works.
They're
So
probably gonna have to wait a couple of months before, kind of similar to the way they not similar to the way they did. Remember Marquise Chris last year? They cut him and had to wait 2 weeks to bring him back on. So I think you could do that.
but he had to clear waivers.
Yeah, he had to clear waivers, exactly.
And I feel like I just talked to a guy who's an NBA agent. He's not really settled in with any agency right now, and he's up and coming. But basically,
Right.
when you're an agent, you have to pass the test, and you have to have read the CBA. And I was
Right.
asking him, I said, how long does it take to clear waivers? 48 hours. So I feel like Kai Bowman, he should get picked up, right? His
Yeah,
contract
he
is
should
so
be.
cheap.
Yeah,
Like,
he
why
should.
wouldn't you pick him up on waivers? That contract is like nothing, and it's non-guaranteed.
I'm actually surprised they waived him for Wanamaker. I was actually kind of shocked. They're similar. I
You
think
mean,
Wanamaker may be a little better, a little better, not by much, to be quite honest with you.
but just the size compared to Bell.
Yeah, the size. Yeah, the length that Wanamaker has is probably key.
All right, so that's kind of where we are with the roster. Um, did you wait? I was busy doing stuff. You said, what does your eye test tell you about Oubre?
Not Oubre, Michael Mulder. He passes the eye test in terms of his shooting
Okay, did you talk about
for
Oubre
me.
while I was
No,
doing the picks?
Oubre. Like I said, I saw Oubre work out with Drew Halen in LA a couple years
Thank
ago.
you.
So
Oh, Drew Hanlon,
he's
right?
yeah, Drew Halen. Yeah, so he's actually
Hanlon.
not bad. Um,
Yeah.
I just don't know, can he play in this Steve Kerr system? I have to see it. I can't. It's hard to say anything right now until I see it. I just don't know because he's gonna have to
What
move, have
about?
to cut.
Oh, so you're wondering if he can do the moving and the cutting,
Yes, that's important in Steve Kerr's system. Catch and
and
shoot, moving
you have
without
to
the
be
ball.
relentless about it,
Yes,
as we know
absolutely.
from play.
Right.
Okay, okay, something
I
to
have to
look
see
out
it.
for.
We'll see what happens.
All right. Let me check and see how long we've been on.
Probably 20 minutes.
You know, I don't have any timestamps. All right. So I think we're good.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
the next step, what happens now is, well, if they, I should report that Monty Poole from NBC Sports Bay Area, credentialed Warriors writer, has many sources in the team. They're telling him that they're still looking at guys. It could be a shooting guard or it could be a center, is what he's saying, or a wing. I can't remember exactly what the tweet said, but a center was actually part of the tweet. I know that much. And that's not far fetched, I don't think, because who's
He likes
your
to have three
backup?
centers. Yeah.
Who else? Yeah, can we call Smiley a third string center? I don't know.
No, no, we cannot. No. So Steve
And
Kerr in his system, he likes to have three different centers that do different things. If you look at the past 3 or 4 years, you know, JaVale, Zaza, David West. So right now he's got Wiseman, Chris, and he's looking for that third. Maybe maybe Gasol can fit that bill. Did they waived someone from last year, or he's on the roster?
who
He was in Phoenix. He was a
who
top.
wait?
He was a lottery pick. Warriors, I think. What is his name?
No, I mean
He
Chris was
played.
a lottery pick, and
He was. He played with Phoenix, and he could shoot a little bit, but he's not very athletic. 7 foot.
oh, you mean last season?
Yeah, last
Dragon
season.
Bender,
Yeah,
Dragon
Dragon.
Bender.
Where is he at? Yeah, where is he at?
He signed a contract overseas already, so
Ah,
he's not available. But I saw him up close. I mean, he just wasn't fierce enough. Just wasn't
yeah,
locked in enough. Uh,
yeah.
Too much doubt in his mind, which is basically the name of the game.
Which is why he went
In
overseas.
Yeah, yeah.
Basically, that's
Well,
what happened.
I just feel like I feel bad for Smiley. I think he might be being discussed in trades, maybe.
Maybe he needs a little bit more development, to be honest with
Yeah, and they're stuck with him with the fully guaranteed. So, I mean, if you look at the Warriors roster right now, which I just showed you,
you. Yeah,
which one sticks out like a sore thumb? It's actually Smiley.
absolutely.
And nothing against him. I mean, he's 19, maybe 20 by now,
Maybe.
and
Yeah.
he's so young and raw. And I could see him being a pretty decent, stretch four.
Right.
And he's played great. Um,
The
but that's
Warriors in
it.
win now mode. They're in win now
Um,
mode.
yeah. So accidentally, someone tried to call me right now. So let's end it right now. I think
Yep.
we've gone way past. Comments. We're gonna have to have you back on.
Yes,
To,
sir.
you know what? Go ahead and give me a very very quick anecdote on the Rockets. Go ahead, because you've seen them up close.
Shambles. The organization. I can understand why James Harden and West was kind of want to go a different direction. Because of Tillman, I don't think he reached out to them about the couple of decisions that he's made with the coaching and the GM. So that when you start over from there, that's like a rebuild, to be honest with you. And I think that's why James Harden is like, I'm 31. We've tried this
Uh,
7 years. I don't have my GM. I don't have the coach I want. Let me try to go win a championship.
yeah.
And the same thing with Russ. They didn't let him know what was going on in terms of Silas and Raphael Stone. I told you about Rafe. I would see him down there every day, and I used to wonder, like, what is he doing? Now
Uh-huh.
I figured it out. He was
Because he
trying to
was
get
in.
in on basketball ops.
Oh, he wasn't even in basketball ops.
No, he was a team counsel, so he was on the business side, but he
That's
would
what
be
you meant
down
by
there
that.
every day. Yeah,
He was
yeah,
on team council and he
yep.
didn't pass the bar yet.
No, so according to
What
my
the
sources,
heck?
he had not passed the bar.
Okay, all right. What do you think about PJ Tucker? People are asking him. I mean, he's not a free agent, guys. So first of all, PJ
No,
Tucker's not a free agent, but would they trade him? Fire sale? I feel like he's so
if
cheap.
they get rid of
He's so cheap.
Harden, I mean, you would think
Okay.
they're gonna blow it up. You would think if they get rid of Harden, the Westbrook, they're blowing it up. So it's an option. I don't know if he would take the DPE or whatever the Warriors have left. If they can make a deal, I don't think he would do that. I'm not sure. He would be a solid
Okay.
pickup here for sure.
Jeremy Lin is not coming to the Warriors, guys.
No,
Wanamaker
no.
was it. There's no reason to stock up with backup point guards. And also you have Jordan Poole who can play point. I actually got a couple insider guys. One guy was actually there.
Yeah,
Like he had access to someone who was streaming the whole game on his phone.
yeah,
Um, and he said Poole played 75 to 80% point guard, and he was
right.
he was decent. So he's the third string point guard. So that means Jeremy Lin is not coming here. But
No.
uh,
And Serge, I
the
see
the
one last question. I see one last thing about Serge. Serge just got picked up with the Clippers, so there's no way he's
yeah,
coming here.
Jeremy Lin he has like multiple offers, so
Right.
multiple interests, not multiple offers, multiple interests. Let's go through some of this. Yeah, because I just brought up Marcus Gasol as a name, but I was
Possible.
under pressure to say something. But we did say maybe because Kerr likes to have a lot of centers,
He
and
does. He
there's
likes to
not a
have
whole
three.
lot of backup. I mean, I guess you could say Looney is a backup center, possibly. Um,
Possible.
I think is 100% because the guy that saw the stream inside of the bubble, he said that Looney was playing great and didn't look like he was injured. Um, so we need Bogdan. No, that's done deal.
Yeah,
Um,
done deal.
yeah, y'all need to do Twitter
Research.
notifications to
Yeah.
Woj, Shams, and Chris Haynes.
Yep. Yep. They're on it.
Uh, don't do no aggregator. Just go on Twitter and directly those guys.
Yep.
Hate it when because sooner or later an aggregator is going to give you the wrong information, and you'll be like,
Right.
huh? And then it's not the right information. Trust me, they screw it up all the time. You guys, oh, oh,
I think Bogdan's a done deal.
Batum, he got waived by Charlotte, but he has to clear waivers,
Right,
and
he does.
then it's possibly a free agent. And you wouldn't want to claim him on waivers because then you would owe him $9 million a year. So,
Yeah, I don't think he's worth it.
who said? But somebody told me, an NBA agent told me he doesn't trust Batum. Just not a good fit for Kerr's system. I don't
No.
know why. I don't know Batum at all. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, in Charlotte, he never lived up to the contract. Of course, he would not fit in Steve Kerr's system, not at all. The way he plays,
Okay.
not a good fit.
Yeah, that's
The,
a important thing to remember. How do you fit into the culture and person? Um, Bazemore made 19 million last year. Is he going to take a huge pay cut? Like, that's
man,
a
no,
big pay cut.
no. Unless I
Does
know he has ties with Steph. Maybe if I don't know how close they are, but I don't
one
see him
year,
taking.
okay,
Yeah,
1 year at 3 million. Anyway,
yeah, I don't see that.
he's long. He's long.
Yeah,
Plays good
they
defense.
don't really need another Oubre or Wiggins. They need a
I know
shooter.
that's what you like. Yeah, Justin Holiday's already gone. But yesterday, Gabe's favorite was Justin Holiday. My favorite was Avery Bradley. They
Oh
both
yeah,
went off
I
the
wish they
board.
got a. Oh my goodness, that would have been
They
big.
both went off the board, and people on Twitter were giving me credit, which I don't deserve, because after that I was like, okay, Michael Carter Williams, backup point guard. I saw him in the bubble. What do you think of MCW, real quick?
Not too bad. Solid
Okay, as a backup,
career
yeah.
so far. Yeah, as a backup, not too bad.
Then he was taken, and then I was like, okay, who we got? Like Brad Wanamaker, man. Let's
Yeah.
go for him because I'm
Avery
about
would have been
defense.
perfect.
I'm
Avery would have
about
been
defense.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, not only because we learned from Travis, um, there's a defensive system you got to buy into as well. That's
He
a
could
lot
have
of
started next to Kerr. Absolutely.
lot of people forget about that. Like the
Yep.
Warriors, just it isn't just about catch and shoot, but system. It's defensive system, like closing out weak side. We talked about that
Taking
at
pressure
length.
off Steph. He would have guarded Steph's guy just like Clay does. It would have been perfect. Maybe Wanamaker can do that. We'll see what happens.
Okay, we got some more names. Troy Daniels, Wayne Ellington.
No.
Now Wayne was on the list of somebody mentioned him. I forget, Monty Poole maybe. I forget. Don't quote me on that, but why not? Shooter.
Defense. Yeah, but he can't
Uh,
guard.
well, I mean, you're backup. You're a backup.
Right.
What do you think of Jordan Poole? Can he step up, or is he too
He
young? I
needs
heard
to step up.
really good things about him during the bubble.
If he steps up, then
The
that changes
double.
the equation. If he
Okay.
steps up, you don't really need to pick up anybody else. You can kind of save that DPE for like a postseason run. If he steps up, it's very important. But I don't know. We got to see in the next couple of weeks. We'll see what happens.
Okay. All right. I think the only thing left to really say is that the DPE, when they use it, when it gets approved, I think maybe they just wait and see how the NBA shapes up, because somebody really good for 9 million might just I would assume you could use that in terms of like difference in salary, maybe. I don't know. Does it have to be free agent? We'll find that out for you.
So. Yeah, we'll find that out.
Because I'm just
But
thinking
I think
if they wait you know what? I don't even want to say. I can't. Don't quote me on that. So I gotta do some research. That's the next video. Is figure out what this DPE is.
right.
Whether they can use it in a trade. Is it only free agents? Somebody could be bought out later who's like unhappy where they are, like they're tanking, and here's a chance to go to the Warriors.
For a playoff run. Yep.
Yeah. So we'll see. But thanks for joining, Gene. This was
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Thanks for having me on.
good information. All right, guys. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. Thank you, Dub Nation, for all of your positive vibes on the Let's Go Warriors channel. I really appreciate that. It's so different than like Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah.
It's a welcome relief to see like you guys in the comments. That's good commenting. Appreciate that. All right, we're gonna sign off right now. First thing I'm gonna do, hopefully this works, is I'm gonna stop the live stream and then we'll get off the Zoom.